All right, Dale, we are good.
Hey, everybody, it's Dale Jr. back again with the Dale Jr. Download. This is the live Ask Junior portion of the show presented by Xfinity. They've been a great partner in NASCAR, supporting our sport in so many different ways. They support this podcast and the Ask Junior part here on YouTube. So Leah's going to help us cipher through some of your questions. Let's see what you guys got today.
Yeah, first question is coming from All Day Sports. With the NFL draft coming up this week and your beloved Redskins with the number 2 pick, what do you think they do and what do you want them to do?
I think they're going to draft Chase Young, the defensive lineman they want to, everybody thinks is going to go at number 2. I think they're going to draft that guy. And I kind of want them to. We got a defensive-minded coach coming in. Ron is, probably excited to get a player like that on his team. We've also got a lot of other really talented guys on that defensive line to pair up with Young. So anyway, we have a lot of holes to fill. A lot of teams do. But and it'd be nice to see, what might play out if we were to draft quarterback or something like that. But I think they're going to take Young and see how it goes. I mean, defense wins games, wins championships. I believe that. We've seen in the past some very, very good defensive teams that have sort of a workman's-like offense, not a dominating offense. But we've seen those teams have success and win championships. So if we want to focus on trying to make the defense the best we can and, allow that offense to try to keep, win the games that we can keep them in, by playing great defense, I think that's a good strategy.
Liam is on YouTube and he wants to know if you could commentate any other sport, what would it be and why?
If I would commentate any other sport or want to, I don't think I would. Honestly, I never looked at commentating as a job or something I was going to look into or be interested in. I never was, something. It never was something that crossed my mind. It was drive race cars, and then, we'll see what happens. I sort of admired some of the commentators in racing, and that's what steered the potential or the idea about doing some racing commentary and just to try it out, and it worked, or it's working so far. And so I never even thought about other sports. So, football, as big as Redskins fan as I am, I think that would be the only other area that I might have interest but I couldn't do it well. I don't know the sport as well as a guy who's played it, like Troy Aikman or Roger Staubach or any of those guys that went into, broadcasting. I wouldn't have the confidence to get in there and do it well. So that would be really, really hard to do. I think the fact that I was a driver and I lean on that experience really helps me and gives me the confidence to go into that booth and do that.
Jake Wilson wants to know, what did you think about using Twitch for the first time during one of the races?
I really enjoyed it, and I've went back and forth with Mike for a long time about Twitch and streaming. And obviously, this is kind of how all that went down. And it's not this huge thing, but I love technology. I love building computers, fixing computers. If something if something doesn't work, I want to know why, and I want to get in there and try to remedy the problem. And I love the challenge that computers present in that area. So I've always kind of liked that. And that's what drew me to, I learned that from sim racing. I got into sim racing. I had to learn about computers to be a good sim racer. I had to learn about upgrading my computer, the hardware, software, staying on top of the latest and greatest and understanding how those things work, and being able to install that stuff myself made it so much easier than needing to ask for help here or take my my computer to other places. I could just do it in my own home. So I really enjoy that. I like that a lot. And with quarantine, I needed a project. I needed something that got my hands busy and got my mind busy. And so I dove right into figuring out, what it is about Twitch. Why do people stream? What do people get from streaming? What do they enjoy about it? What hardware, software is necessary? and I really learned a lot about it. And so I've been stream ready for about 2-3 weeks. I've gotten overlays and I've gotten the software and the hardware and understand kind of how I want, I got my system kind of set up. I got my gaming computer. I've got a streaming computer that I run the signal for the video. Basically, everything, the signal from the gaming computer goes to an NDI network plug-in. So there's no real hardware necessary for that. And I stream from another computer, and getting the overlays and the design and all the things that come along with it are fun. All the other drivers are sort of diving into this at the same time. Maybe some of them have a little more experience than I do, but Garrett Smithley, Landon Castle, all those guys are streaming. Even on the IndyCar side, Connor Daly, a lot of those guys stream as well. And so we've obviously been using Steven Steffen as a crew chief, and he streams and has experience with Twitch. So it's just really kind of been something that I wanted to know about, learn about, understand why people do it. What's the return? What's the enjoyment out of it? How to engage with people. And so I've been ready to stream for a while, but I've just kind of not went live. I just haven't I've just not been ready, I guess. But it seemed like a good time. So I fired it up yesterday morning. We ran that qualifying race, the last chance qualifier, streamed that, and then we streamed the main event, and might stream a little bit more here in the next day or two. So I've enjoyed it, and there's so much to it that I still don't understand. I know a good amount about the software and the hardware and how to put together a package to be stream ready. What I don't know is all the things that are particular and specific to the Twitch culture, the emotes and interacting, engaging with fans in chat, and all the things that you can provide those people that come to watch your stream, and all that engagement that you can create through different things. So I think that's a whole new chapter for me to really open up and learn about, and try to find out what it is about the stream specific components that make that so much fun for people, that keep them coming back, keep them subscribing and following your channel.
We're getting a lot of questions about your little ice cream run yesterday. Tell us about that. What kind of ice cream? Did you get ice cream, or did you just get ice cream for Amy?
Well, Amy said to me, she said, I don't want to cook today. So we're going to go out. I said, you tell me where you want food, I'll get it. We also had put in an order at the grocery store to get, pick up our curbside grocery. So that was scheduled for a particular time in the evening. She decided that she wanted, we decided both that we wanted to eat from Fresh Chef, which is a place on Brawley School Road here in Mooresville. Great place to eat. And we got some food ordered there, pulled up. They were great. Gloves, masks, everything. We had that stuff as well in the car, but we weren't wearing it. And so anyways, they hand me the food through the window, and we go on and we drive up and we get our go to the grocery store, and we're sitting there and we pop the hatch and they put the groceries in the back, and I'd not planned on getting out of the car this entire trip, so I didn't wear shoes. And when I've been out outside the house, walking around on the driveway or playing with Isla or downstairs or around the pool, haven't worn shoes. I got an excess amount of socks due to the broadcasting job has really improved or increased the sock inventory around here. So I'm good with wearing out or wearing through a couple of pairs because I won't throw them away otherwise. And I just can't bring myself to go into my sock drawer and weed them out. So I'm going to wear them out. On the way home, we drove by the ice cream store, and I said, do you want ice cream? You said on social media you did. Let's go in here and get you some ice cream. So we pulled in there. She's like, no, let's not do it. I'm like, no, we're going in. We're getting your ice cream. We pulled up to the place, and there's 9 cars in the drive-in. There's nobody standing at the window. And so I said, I'm going to run over there and get it. And so I jumped out of the car and walked over to the window, and they had these little splash guards Velcroed up there and stuff. And so I told the lady my order and got in the car, and we went home. Yeah, it was it was vanilla ice cream with Oreo cookie crumbles in there. It's very good.
Good choice.
Yeah.
All right, Scott Hamilton. He wants to know if you've had the chance to watch the Formula One series on Netflix, and do you think NASCAR should do something similar? He says he found it interesting and actually piqued his interest in F1.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. Yeah, I wish. I mean, I still need to watch Ford versus Ferrari. I still need, I definitely need to watch the F1 stuff. Last night we watched Mr. Mom. Have you ever seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
It's basically like from the '80s, early '80s. Michael Keaton, I think, is the lead actor. Wasn't he Batman after some years later? But Mr. Mom, great movie. Especially I watched it when I was a kid, and a couple times since then. But I haven't seen it as a dad. Seeing it as a dad is a really and Amy never seen it, and she liked it. It's kind of old and early '80s sort of quirky humor, but not a bad movie, Mr. Mom. We've been kind of nostalgic here lately for some reason around our house, and I've been watching a lot of older stuff. We watched a couple of Cheers episode this morning when I got up for breakfast. Threw on some Cheers.
That's awesome. I recommend Ford vs. Ferrari. Very good.
Yeah, I've heard it's been great. I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah. One more question on the movie topic. Tyler King wants to know if you could create your own racing movie, who would you cast to play the driver and what would it be about?
Oh man. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think when I think about movies and racing movies, I always lean toward the dirt short tracks or asphalt short tracks. And making a movie about someone that you feel like that could be you or that could be your neighbor, right? Making a movie about an individual who's relatable, who seems to have the same income, or the same style, or it's a little bit harder, I think, for people to relate to some of the superstars, right? So making a movie about a superstar or about a big time NASCAR guy seems a bit more challenging. Plus, getting the footage right? Getting the in-car cameras and the racing footage of a fictional character is difficult. You could see that even way back when they tried to make Days of Thunder and they had to have the cars incorporated into the race and just the hoops that they would have to jump through to try to get some reasonable, decent footage that would match the storyline. Whereas if you were going to make a film about a hometown hero or your next door neighbor who's got got his family owned business or is a plumber, whatever he is, right, that drives his old car to dirt track and is just going through the typical struggles of life, that to me is a little more relatable and in a story that I would like to hear. So I kind of like the kind of like Six Pack a little bit. Remember Six Pack, how he was kind of this normal guy? I mean, obviously he didn't end up in cup racing, Kenny Rogers. He didn't end
There's
up
no way
time.
Leah knows anything about Six Pack.
I know.
I know what you're talking about, though, Dale.
Yeah.
I do.
It's on our list. We have a quarantine.
I always
list.
loved Six Pack until he got to the cup level, because then it became too fictional for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When he was at home or running around driving his dirt car and they were stealing parts off the cars.
Right.
That was, and they were going into the honky tonk at the hotel.
Right.
And,
yeah.
I wish it would have stayed there. Right? I wish the storyline would have ended in that same era, around that same type of racing.
Leah, I got a question. Can I be the one to give the last question?
Absolutely.
So, Dale, you revealed on Instagram this week that you guys found out the sex of your second baby. So after the camera turned off, what was your responses? What did you and Amy talk about now that that you're going to have a baby girl?
Well, I'll say this, we have a name. It took us forever to figure out Isla's name. It was like the very last few weeks of Amy's pregnancy is when we finally decided on a name, but now we have a name and it came really easy and feel great about that. You go through a lot of emotions about, I know a lot of people were hoping that we were going to have a boy, and so you think about those things, and I'll be honest with you, and I know that a lot of people are I don't know how people will receive this, but I was really not that. I was really not. I was worried. I'll say, I don't know. I got to choose my words wisely here. I was super worried about having a son. The expectations and people's hopes of who he would become or might become were going to be just really unrealistic and challenging, and at times even unfair, maybe. And so there was a part of me that was a little nervous about that, having a son and being the focus of how I raised him and who he was going to be. And I'm sure I was overthinking the hell out of that, but there is a love and a feeling about being the father of a daughter that I can't even hardly put it into words. Isla is now, just in the last probably several weeks, constantly saying how much she loves me. She's, she loves her daddy and loves to be up against her dad and wants her dad to put her, tuck her in at night. And it's just the most amazing thing. And to have another dose of that ingredient in the household, I'm all about it, right? And I can't. And then so I love, Amy's great, Isla's great. We're going to add to that. We're going to bring more of that into our home, and I just can't wait because it's made our home so amazing. Me and Amy were doing great and having a blast, but Isla's been such an amazing addition to our home as far as the love and the family atmosphere and so forth that we experience together, and we're just going to increase that. And the other thing too was when I don't know when it happened, maybe you remember, Mike, but there's a point in the pregnancy where it dawns on you and you're like, now I can't wait to meet this person. It doesn't start, like when you find out you're pregnant, you don't feel that way right away, right? You don't start going, oh, come on, get here. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to meet you. Hurry. That's not what happens in the first few weeks or even first few months. But at some point, it's just like a switch where you're like, all right, I'm out of patience. Who is this person? What do they look like? What are they going to sound like? What are they going to talk like? What are they going to do? And how are they going to be different? How are they going to look different and feel different and act different? You just can't wait. You start to get really impatient. And as soon as we got that test and learned of that information, it became real. It became more human, and the impatience showed up. And, now I'm starting to, now I'm talking to it and trying to do all the things. Cause we did that with Isla. I tried to talk to Isla while she was inside Amy's belly and trying to make, if it matters, it matters. If it don't, it don't. But I think it helps if she recognizes that name or recognizes my voice. Cause when she's delivered, right, she's going to go to this little table. And they're going to start cleaning her up, and I'm going to be there talking to her. Right. And if she hears she want her to hear a familiar voice when she's laying there going, what's going on? What is this? Who's
so
this
bright.
person? So bright. Yeah. I try to talk. I'm starting to talk to her now because all this, that light switch happened as soon as we found out the sex. It's like, oh, it's a girl. It's a real human being.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Man, well, listen, I don't know who I wanted you to have a son, but I could speak for myself. I was, as a card-carrying member of the Two Daughter Club, I was happy. I was ecstatic when I found out that you were going to be in the club with me.
Yeah.
And so I ain't nothing like it, man. And I'm so happy for you and Amy. I'm happy for Isla. She's going to be an awesome big sister.
That's right.
It's just going to be fun, man. I
can't wait. Yeah, it's God's plan. It's what's intended for me, and I'm supposed to make sure that these two individuals become the best they can be, and that's my role. And whatever the future holds, if we don't have any more kids or we do, I don't know. And that's that. I mean, I'm just riding the ride, man. It's been amazing. I can't wait it just rolls right out. As soon as I think about this little girl that we're going to have, I just keep saying it. I can't wait to meet her. I can't wait to meet her. Because I remember when I met Isla, it was just the best feeling ever. So good. So I can't wait for that again. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, I am in my 30s and I'm still daddy's little girl, so that will never change. You're
That's
gonna have
right,
that.
man.
You're gonna have that for
I'm
forever.
ready for double of that, right?
That's
right.
awesome. All right, guys. That's it for today.
All right. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate Xfinity for sponsoring the Ask Junior portion of the show here on YouTube. Make sure you follow our YouTube channel and our social media channels at Dirty Mo Media. Great questions today, everybody. We have a great show for you. We're going to be putting out here later today, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. David Allen, who is a longtime friend, and my father and myself has some Earnhardt stories to tell you guys that I haven't even heard.
They are amazing.
Yeah. So you guys are in for a real treat for this show. And we are too as well, hearing these stories for the first time. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you guys are going to love. Thank you.